Hey there, how's it going? What is up, everybody? Irish Orangutan is back to pass along what you need to know to get better at Madden and grow your Mutt team. Enjoy the show.
Today we are back to talk about Most Feared and all that it is going to be bringing to the game. Very excited about the players that did come out, the sets that are out, the challenges that we'll be able to play, and also the first thing they did note was haunted house rules, something that will be lasting longer than the normal house rules, something that will be more or less part of the game. It is going to be a big play sort of game where you have the opportunity to just win by 20. But I think if you score a 50-yard touchdown, then the game automatically goes to you. If you score over 20 yards, that's 14 points. So it's a very easy way to accumulate a lot of wins. Don't know if they'll count towards Mutt or your Mutt Master. They did not say that. Since they are a little bit shorter games, it actually would make sense, well, at least in their eyes, that they probably would not allow us to have that. So just keep an eye on that and see if those do go up. But with 75 wins over 70, excuse me, not over 70 days, over 7 days, you will have the opportunity to get one of the main NAT players that we will be talking about here coming up in a little bit. So one of those players will be able to help out your team immensely. So very excited to get into those. And yeah, as you go along, you will be able to get one pack per win. So that is a huge kind of win for this promo as well. There will be challenges and other things we'll be getting into here in just 1 second. Something you will want to check out first thing tomorrow are the missions for this Most Feared. You will have the opportunity to get another team captain token, so that is huge, along with the opportunity to just get some rewards going along with this promo and just have a better understanding of what you need to do straight away. Creelo also did note there is something special in here that you will be able to get if you do check this out, so make sure you do check that out straight away. Something you will be able to knock out straight away, along with getting into those head-to-head competitions, are getting into playing challenges, and you will have the opportunity to play 10 of those a day to get some of those special things that will be going into sets, which we'll be talking about here in just a moment. Just the overview that might be a little bit small for you to see. Play in the cauldron to earn most feared crafting materials. Earn repeatable rewards on each win and even more for each star. So check out each special rules that the next screen will show you. But you can only play this 10 times per day, and losses do count towards that. So you will just have special things that you do need to accomplish, potentially scoring a touchdown on your lone drive or something along those lines. And then the pun zone are just normal challenges that we would have that you will be able to go along and get some nice rewards for that as well. So as you can see here, team captain token after 10 wins, 100 bats. That's something that will be coming along with this. There will be a new currency out. These bats will be taking the place of what you could potentially use for training for this. That is a little bit disheartening that they aren't continuing to bring out players with that training, and they will be separating that out. But much like last year, I'm sure after this promo is over, a lot of those players will roll back to training, and we'll have the opportunity to get a very inexpensive line of training as all those players do switch over. Then once you get to 30 stars, excuse me, not wins, if I did say that earlier, you get the 85 overall NAT Most Feared Fantasy Pack. And I'm very excited to get into some of those players that you could potentially get. So let's get into that, and we'll get into sets and packs here in a minute. So they will have an array of players that will be coming out. They will be along the lines of Scary Fast, Scary Strong, and then Scary Sharp, I believe was the other one for high awareness or potentially zone type stats. So for the Scary Fast, again, some of those players that can really potentially help out your team. Tevin Coleman coming in at a halfback at 89 speed, 85 overall. Dante Fowler Jr., 81 overall right outside linebacker. That might just say 80. Oh my goodness, that is awful small. Definitely should be towards the 88 sort of style there, but he is a fairly decent rusher, so I don't believe that they did give him probably the proper stats that he should have, especially at the outside linebacker position. Being a D end at that position would make a little bit more sense, but since the Rams play him more of just the split rusher like a D Ford would be, they are considering him the right outside linebacker. Jakeem Grant, the wide receiver. Now that I say that, D Ford might be an end this year, but Jakeem Grant, 91 speed at 79 overall is a huge bump, and then Shaquem Griffin, 77 overall, right outside linebacker, 86 speed. Going to potentially have him running down, or would if I didn't have Montez Sweat on special teams. Great option there. Also, great budget player there for you. Then we have the scary sharp here with Nicole Roby-Coleman, J.R. Sweezy, Carl Joseph, and Jacoby Brissett. Again, with these players just having a higher stat somewhere else might not be the best fit for you, especially if it is just awareness. So, not going to spend very much time on these players. Next up, we have Scary Strong with Marcus Cannon coming in at 85 overall with that 89 strength. Tremendous run blocker at the right tackle position, so just consider him potentially. Then we have Jermaine Edmonds at middle linebacker, 81 overall, 82 speed. That speed could be a little bit higher on him. He's going to potentially be a good user later on in the year if they ever do pick up his speed, or I guess just give him a higher overall to kind of go along with that. We have Will Dissly here being a scary strong, 72 speed, 72 strength, so really not great statted card there. And Star Latulele, 90 strength, pretty pathetic. Block Shed, they did Block Shed really, really poorly on a few of these cards, and then the Master, it actually looks tremendous on, so I'm very excited to show you that here very shortly. We did get a Jonathan Allen with this promo coming in at 88 overall. Does have a very solid power move there, getting out to 89. Wish it was just one higher, or potentially had a power up so we could get him to that. Then he could actually be a dominant force, potentially just in the middle rushing. That 68 speed is going to hinder him ever so slightly, but I'm very excited to see him out on the football field. Then we have Brian Winters here, coming in for Scary Sharp with that 91 awareness. Very excited to see him for Jets fans, I guess. Not really greatly statted, actually pretty legit run blocker, so could potentially use him in that way. For the 88 overall scary fast player, we did get Jabril Peppers, 86 speed, so a little bit lacking there since he is a scary fast player, but 89 acceleration and very, very mild stats for his actual coverage. Can boost those up to 80. That could help you out a whole bunch, but 87 hit power does look awful nice. And next up, we have the Cauldron players, just kind of going up by overall. They did note these players potentially having a little bit more to do with some of the sets we'll be getting into a little bit later, and then some of those pieces that you can collect from some of those house rule wins and other things that you can get through challenges potentially as well. So the first player we have here is Vita Vea. Very slow speed. Again, his block shedding looks absolutely terrible. Allen's was not the best either, but he does come in with that 93 strength, so that is something to look forward to on this card. And then we have Anthony Barr coming in with 84 speed, 90 overall. Do wish he was a little bit faster. Do have some other options, even at the middle linebacker position, that really I can just move them to that position and have them play much better. Block shedding, again, a little bit low, but for the player that he is, block shedding doesn't really hurt him all too much, but I just wish that speed was a little bit higher. And then we have Michael Thomas coming in as the next most feared Cauldron player, 91 overall, 85 speed. tremendous stats across the board catching the football and very good middle and short route runner, but really is going to hurt you if you try to throw him the ball down the field. I have played a lot of players who can work him into their offense, but you cannot rely on him as your number one and player that you're going to be able to play with for extended period of time, with tight ends already coming out that have his speed and potentially are a little bit faster also. For the scary sharp master, we have Earl Thomas coming in with 94 zone, 93 play rec, and 86 speed. He does come in with that 92 overall. One of the best free safeties in the game. We really are lacking at that position. And to be honest, we really need to have someone like a Sean Taylor come into the game to really fit that gap. Calvin and Brian Dawkins are decent at that, but still waiting for that player that can fit on more teams and has a legit speed and kind of overall player. And for Scary Fast Master, we have Tyler Lockett again at 92 overall. Comes in with that 90 speed, 93 catching, better deep route running. So this could be your threat down the field, and then have Michael Thomas run a lot of those underneath routes. And if you can match those two up and somehow get those two nat, that'd be a tremendous fit for your team. And again, one of these players could potentially be on your team, with the last possibility coming up here in 1 second. So, for playing through those house rules and getting those 75 wins over 7 days, you could potentially get one of the fastest, best wide receivers in the game, one of the best free safeties, or Cam Newton at 92 overall, 82 speed, 90 throw power. Kind of middling accuracy stats there. Very good at play action. Again, talked about this before. Doesn't really help you out nearly as much, and that is his best stat category by a lot. So that is something that is a little bit disappointing for him. Also, with his speed, it is a little bit lower than I would like to see it, especially since you cannot truck with him and expect not to get fumbles on a consistent basis. And then comes the master of the master for this promo so far. We get Ray Lewis at 87 speed, 87 acceleration, 87 strength, 92 tackle, 92 play rec, 89 block shed, and 92 hit power. So immediately coming out and being a tremendous enforcer for you. Does have a limited zone coverage, so just going to be tremendous in the run game, but is going to be a little bit limited in the pass game. So just keep that in mind. But with everyone running at least 50%, if not 100% of the time, he is going to be able to help you out immensely. For these Cauldron players, these three different tokens, things that you can acquire, will be auctionable, tradable, but they are things that you will get randomly, so it is not something that you can consistently go out and get the pieces that you would potentially want, at least according to Kralo at this point. So that is just something we could potentially look forward to. But there aren't necessarily fantasy packs for these particular pieces that you will need to fit into these sets. So definitely look forward to playing for those and potentially picking some up on the auction house as well. And then we also do have the sets for the main players that will be going into the 92 overall. As you can see, you will need a lot of particular sets or tokens to complete these sets, so just keep that in mind before you start. It is not going to be something for the faint of heart. You are going to have to grind a little bit for these potential players. And as you can see here, with a player that's a little bit lower, it's not full of all just the one collectible. You will have to collect a variety of these different tokens or collectibles to fit into this. So just keep that in mind. Scary Strong players are going to need the Scary Strong compared to Scary Sharp for that Earl Thomas that we looked at a short time ago. And for the master set, we have to put in all three of these cards: Earl Thomas, Cam Newton, and Tyler Lockett. For this Ray Lewis, we will be getting all three of these cards back nat, at least as far as Kralo did say. We also be getting the Ray Lewis power up, so that is a big plus. One negative to this, since we will be getting them all back nat, we probably won't be able to put the player that we earn through house rules if you are able to get that accomplished into this set, because otherwise it would not really hold the same value that it really should. So just keep that in mind. And the other thing that you can go in and do, of course, is buy packs. They will have the bundle and different opportunities for you to purchase these players. But I am very excited about the lower end of this and potentially selling some of these cards. So we'll definitely be working the promo as hard as we can tomorrow to make some coins and then be getting into the challenges a little bit later on. And thankfully, I did have the clip that I needed here, so can show you the 77 to 81 overall players for 565 bats. In the past, this has been a tremendous opportunity to continue to make coins. Have had a few more questions about this recently, so very excited to share some of that information. And also, you will have opportunity to get some of these players with training, as you can see, 77 plus overall most feared player. So excited to see what the value of the training is compared to the bats and what you can really see there. It probably will be halved from the look of it, at least. So just keep that in mind. But the 77 plus overall player could mean 91 overall, or excuse me, 90. Well, I guess 91 overall since those players are options, but potentially 92 overall player as well. But that will be very, very hard to pull that from this pack. But that is what we have for the most feared promo. Something large of note, these players will be getting that extra boost or transforming on October 30th to November 1st. Also, there will be a second part of this promo coming after the 7 days of the house rules that we do get done with there. So just expect something new next Thursday, potentially a stream explaining that next Wednesday evening. So just keep that in mind. Definitely make sure you get into missions straight away so you understand what to interact with first. For me, it's going to be probably acquiring some bats and then seeing what we can do to make coins with those bats. So that's what we have. Clinton Jake will be on tomorrow for Madden Daily Drops. Or Good Morning Madden, depending on what time you do view it. So make sure you do check that out. And that is what we have. And I hope you have a tremendous time engaging in this promo. Take care.
Thank you for checking into the Irish Orangutan channel. Keep coming back for more Madden knowledge. There will be consistent videos up every week, so make sure to subscribe and hit the bell button to see them all. Come by Twitch to engage and hit me up on Twitter at Irish Orangutan. Take care and much love, everybody.